Alright. Yeah. Welcome to Fly Times Podcast with your host,
Sonny Lovon.
and Hector Caramolinga.
And this is a special thing because this is going to be our first guest.
Yes, our first guest.
Who do we have with us?
Who's here with, I know, it's alright. Shake him off. But yeah, we got our boy here. Come on with it.
My name is Daniel
Daniel
Gerbis.
Instagram Lumi Moon. That's the Lumi Moon.
Yeah, I know his name.
Yeah.
Instagram. Because that's funny. Before we even start,
What's your IG handle?
no, what I'm saying, I would always call you Lumin. So, because I didn't, I just.
Well, there's so I chose that name very early on to separate myself with myself, like a moniker. And it was to, if I went to a shop and wanted to just see how people really were, assuming that I would be known.
Right, well, that's tight.
Yeah.
And Sonny actually had a story about this with some of his friends, where they went in and they didn't know their Instagram handle, and then they acted different as soon as they learned that, and they're like, "Oh shit, that's who you are." I kind of had it to be away from the idea of
Like having an image with your social media or whatever.
Yeah, that was a separate thing, and then I like the idea of knowing what people really are about if they don't know who you are, assuming that I would ever be anything.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Is that too loud? Yeah, I feel like I hear it.
I can hear it.
I mean, I don't know if I hear it or not, but.
Do y'all want me to turn it off? I can just turn it on.
It feels good.
Okay.
No, I'm cool.
All right, sorry. And then,
All good.
But so Looming Moon was a thing, simply because I wanted to be removed from the idea of a direct association with my work. And it might be weird. Some people maybe like that. I don't like the known.
yeah.
Right.
Very private person, but also to really see what somebody is about.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense because you're assuming that they don't know who you are because they don't know your actual name, but they know who Lumin Moon is?
I mean,
Or whatever, right?
not the idea would be yes.
Yeah.
But
No, that's cool.
but I'm not shit. But I've definitely like.
No, you are. I feel like you and Hector have that so in common. Like very private, and then y'all downplay because Hector was saying that like I ain't shit. Because we did one yesterday, and some kid reached out to him. Obviously, was like, "Hey man, what gun do you use or whatever?" And he goes, "I ain't shit to tell anyone." But I'm like, obviously you are enough to like have followers and someone reach out to you.
But no, I get what you, yeah. I get what
But
you-
anyway, yeah.
I mean, even removed from Sunny, I have friends that are kind of like well known in the tattoo industry, I believe.
More than me?
Easily.
Wow. So I almost had 14,000 followers.
Anyway, I don't know how many. But they would be at conventions and have a good conversation. Maybe they go back and they cut their hair or something like that and go to another convention. And they're like, "Oh, hey, ABC, how are you?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Who the fuck are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm so and so." And they're like, "Oh shit, I didn't recognize." But like the initial thing was like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah, like they're almost already trying to validate who, like your credit score almost.
But as soon as they realize the name,
Then they're like, oh shit, my bad, dog.
then it's like, "Oh, my bad. Let me get on my knees real quick."
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like some
Yeah.
bullshit like that. And
No, that makes sense.
it's just
Yeah.
some fake shit,
Yeah.
And it's also nice just to be go into a place and see what everybody's about, and then get that real feel for what they are.
Absolutely.
Like good is good. You know what I mean? Good people are good people.
Yeah.
They're good if the camera's on or if it's not on.
Yeah, you're the same dude.
And to me that speaks volumes. I've made a lot of friends just by realizing like this motherfucker's gonna be the same no matter what.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's a very important.
that.
Yeah, that's a very important thing to me in my life at this point.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I had a moniker for my name for my
So
tattoo shit.
Does it mean anything? I never even bothered to ask.
It does. It is tied to something that I didn't even fucking create, but it's kind of taking its own thing, and I want it to be its own thing, and
Yeah, that's cool.
so
Yeah. I mean, it's such a fucking.
it's probably a very easy thing to fucking find out if anybody were to type it in,
No shit.
you know. So
So anybody in the comments comment what lumen moon means? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, find it out, and you know, look at the meaning of what that other person wrote,
But
and you'll have me figure it out. I'll be like, yeah, I'm, you know, open book at that point.
that's tight. That's cool. Yeah, because that's funny. That's what I would. Yeah, I just would call you that lumen moon.
I wasn't original enough to come up with my own idea at the time. You know what I mean? Like, so Instagram was, I was in San Antonio when Instagram was allowed on Android phones. Instagram initially was an iPhone product, a proprietary thing.
I did not know that.
Damn, I didn't know this.
It was only iPhone.
And why wouldn't, right? Because Androids are weird.
Yeah, because you guys were on the in.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I wasn't, and a coworker of mine had it, and I was like, "Fuck, I can't wait to get on that thing." Facebook had just taken over MySpace, really, in the last couple years, and then Instagram seemed to be that up and coming thing. Facebook is real stale. It's full of assholes that have their opinions that mean nothing.
To this day.
It's still the same.
Yeah. It's just a new platform.
Yeah, it was a new platform. It was hot. It didn't have all this algorithm bullshit. It didn't have, you know, you posted something, everybody that followed you saw that, no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, it was you could scroll to the end of Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the last
yeah,
thing.
I
I
remember
missed
that
that.
shit,
I
yeah.
missed that.
You know,
It's finished.
and it was finished. You're like, you're done.
Yeah, that's it. Go
It's
do
like,
something else.
yeah, fucking loser. You went through it all.
Yeah.
You know what?
But you saw everybody that you followed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There was no algorithm. There's no fucking game. There's no fucking like
Damn, I forgot about that shit.
hashtag stuff.
I'm
Like
different.
it's ruining. I understand what they're doing. You know, they're a business and they're making business moves.
Right.
But it's like Hulu was fucking free, and all of a sudden they started charging motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like, and that's all they're doing. They're like, hey, it's free. We just talked about this. They dangled the carrot. How sweet this fucking is. And then all of a sudden it got real popular, and then they went, gotcha, bitch.
Yeah.
You know, pay this. You know what I mean? Oh, or now you got to play the game. Now you got to do these hashtags. Oh, that's not good enough. Now you got to do this. You know, so.
Yeah.
And now it's a fucking burden to me.
Yeah.
You know, it's a painful thing for me. I don't even run my own shit.
No shit.
So,
that's
fancy
smart.
boy.
No, it's not fancy at all. I don't have the fucking mental capability anymore.
No, I get that. Yeah.
You know, Sonny and I've known Sonny for
6-7 days.
I sucked you off how long ago? I met you in a glory hole how long ago?
The last time or the first time?
Both. It was the same. I want to say, man, I think we're going on a decade. You know, maybe a little
Cat
shy.
Tattoo was 2014, I want to say.
Yeah,
So
so
maybe a little bit shy of that.
shy of a decade. You know, and that's a story in itself. You know.
Yeah. Well, let's start with your story,
Yeah,
Daniel.
well, I want you to
How
get
did it get
into that
started?
story.
How did it get?
Yeah.
How'd you start tattooing, dog?
Or where?
What got you in the
yeah.
door? Or what started this?
Man, nothing got me in the door. South Georgia.
Is that where you're from?
Yeah, no, that's where I grew up. I grew up in South Georgia.
Where are you from? Like, where are you born? Or?
I was born in Nevada. Family moved.
Oh shit.
Oh, desert boy.
Yeah, loved it.
Vegas?
No, like
I don't
not that cool. Does it look like I'm that cool?
Yeah, you do.
I'm like smoking a cigarette, right? Yeah, from Vegas, baby. No,
So more Nevada.
family died. Other family was alive in Georgia. There's better opportunities in Georgia. Nevada's relatively a broke city besides Vegas.
How long did you live in Nevada? Like that you remember?
0 to 9.
Oh, shit.
Damn, for 9 years you lived in Nevada.
I turned 10 in Georgia.
I'm about to say second grade or third?
Fourth. I finished 4th grade.
Oh, shit.
Went home.
You have a 4th grade education?
Yeah, went through 4th grade. Parents picked me up. Let's go home. Let's pack the shit up. We were on the road the next day. Made a two-week journey.
God damn.
I had 2 dogs, 2 kids. I was one of the kids, of course. 2 parents. You know, pretty standard family, standard white family. You know, 2-week journey.
Fuck, that seems like a long ass.
Yeah, why the 2-week journey? Like,
Y'all were-
made
y'all were
a
like-
few stops and shit. Or?
Y'all on horseback and shit?
Yeah, we're on fucking
What's that fucking game?
Yeah,
Oh,
Oregon Trail,
Y'all
motherfucker.
niggas were on a Oregon Trail and shit.
The Georgian
We started with 39. We got there with 12.
Yeah, the Georgian Trail, right? No, I don't. You know, my parents are very frugal. With standard white
I don't
parents.
know.
Standard white parents. You know, like we pulled all our own shit. You know, they pulled their own car. We had the dogs, and I guess they allotted like 400 miles a day for kids and dogs, and you know, like that's like enough for a trip for fucking, you know,
Like a family or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that makes sense. Okay.
So made it there and made it to Georgia the day before school started,
Oh,
Damn.
wow.
and hit up Walmart, fucking decked out in Walmart clothes. I caught a fish this big on the back of my shirt, you know, like some sort of like.
So I gotta ask, because I feel like I don't
full
even know this story. How did you feel about this? Were you like upset leaving like Nevada, or were you pretty stoked? Because like I said, it's not like,
I was 9, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and there was shit going on in Nevada that I didn't even understand. We used to have, what do they call it? They bring all the kids in and for not commencement, but
I'm kidding.
anyway, yeah,
Sounds of freedom.
they brought all these kids in for sex trafficking. Oh no, what do they call it? It's not a commencement. It's a
Communion?
no, that's
Something religious?
no. Fuck, I can't remember. But we used to have like, Nevada's still very heavily related to the Native Americans, and we used to have whatever these things called that we can't remember. That's not an orgy, I promise, or sex trafficking.
Okay.
We used to have like rain dances. Like Native Americans come in and do like rain dances for all the kids, and it was like a big theatrical thing. I mean, it was
so badass. Yeah, to see that.
it would have been badass if I fucking understood what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
If I can go back and really appreciate
Yeah, now
those
that you're more
fucking
cultured and shit, not like.
at the time it
Boy,
was
that's like, what is this?
I don't have to be in school. I don't have to be in class. No one tell me what to do. All I gotta sit here and
Yeah.
So that was sick. You know, I still to this day, it has a certain smell right before it rains that brings me back.
Damn,
Damn,
man.
that's
That's
right.
fucking tight.
That right before it rains, and the olfactory senses are some of the strongest, I believe, that I've read, tied to memories.
Nice.
So
Good memories, I'm assuming, right? Or,
It's just the memories of the place. Yeah, I was raised very well.
yeah.
I was very lucky.
Yeah,
You know, I'm white. So
You're white and male.
Yeah.
Winning.
everything looked good up to until 2 years ago. But
Yeah, okay.
no, it was good. And then going to Georgia, it was a move. I didn't have a say in it.
Yeah, you're a 9.
I was 9.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Get in the
Yeah,
fucking
like,
car.
bitch.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
fuck?
Pack your shit. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna stay in fucking
You're
Nevada.
still
I
probably peeing in your
just
fucking
threw
pants.
threw loose Legos and boxes.
Yeah.
I remember that shit, and like it was the worst packing ever.
Yeah.
You know?
This is all I need for the rest of my life.
Yeah, like a fucking bindle.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I got some toys and some cheese or some shit. Like I'm ready to go live. Yeah, one action figure. But moved out to Georgia. Got there the day before school started. A culture shock now. Again, it's one of
I
those
was about
things.
to say, how is that culture shock?
It was one of those things where I didn't realize the gravity of moving to that area, to the South, the real South.
Yeah.
So we're in Texas now.
Yeah.
Texas is in the real South. And
That's crazy, right? Because we're like the most southern fucking state.
geographically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But real South shit
Yeah.
is totally different.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking
East of
about,
us, right?
yeah, you're talking about Mississippi, you're talking about Alabama, Georgia.
Yeah.
Florida's more like,
What time's all they in?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
just those, several colonies that are fighting the good fight, as they would say, not me.
As you would say.
Yeah, the first day I showed up, they had I had a black teacher, Miss Davis, amazingly fucking gorgeous woman. I was like,
Do you get it?
no.
Got that jungle fever. You didn't even know it.
It was just a normal fever because I didn't know. Because I wasn't even aware yet of that shit.
Not the normal fever.
I remember she said it was 5th grade, and she was like, this was the first year that you can choose to do like kinesiology or like PE or band, right? And then some, who wants to do band? Everybody raised their hand. She goes, "Where's that new white boy?"
Damn.
And I was like, what? She goes, "What do you want to do?" I was like, PE. I'm already fucking an outcast. I'm not trying to do band right now.
Right.
But yeah, that was her. Where's that new white boy?
Damn.
Where's that fresh off the boat white boy?
Fresh off the boat.
That's awesome.
But it was funny. Her and I actually had a really good rapport. Like kind of a honestly probably wouldn't even work today. Like a kind of a racial rapport.
Wow.
Like she would say shit and I would say shit. Like,
But it was all good type shit.
yeah, it was all good.
So at this point, what year is this? You say you're 9. This is.
95, 96,
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay.
I turned 10 in Georgia.
Yeah.
So it had to be around like 95, 96. That's pretty accurate. 5th grade.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Had a good time. But I remember the first time I went out to PE. Right. I'm the new hot shit. Just because I'm different.
Yeah.
I'm not from there. You know what I mean? Everybody else has grown up together for the last fucking 6 years,
Yeah.
pre-K to whatever, right?
Absolutely.
In a really small town.
Oh,
Real small town, so everybody knows everybody.
What town was it?
I don't even want to say.
Okay.
Man, fuck that place.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Fair.
I don't want to give them nothing. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
But real small town, South Georgia. Went out to PE, and then in Nevada, I grew up in Dayton, Nevada, which is right where California hugs Nevada. It's kind of like between that and Reno, I think. I haven't been back since. But either you're just like my sister was. I have a sister. She's older. She's like 4 years older, 3 years, 8 months, something like that. Riding the school bus, it was very apparent either you're going to be a fucking ball player, like basketball. Basketball was real big in Nevada, or you're going to be a fucking dope dealer, or a cowboy. But usually you're a cowboy dope dealer.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a lot of poverty in Nevada too, and I think that was a big push for my parents. Not only that my dad's mother had died, the last of his side had died, and my mom's side was still alive, but also our opportunities as kids. Like I said, very smart parents. They very much planned out their kids. We're gonna have kids. we're gonna make sure that we set everything up so they can go to college, whatever.
Right.
Of course, some of that changed along the way, but very responsible, you know, people. But I went out to PE, so I grew up on basketball.
Oh no shit.
I wanted a ball. Yeah, that's all I wanted to do.
Sick.
And I go out there. I was like, yo, who's playing basketball? Where do we play basketball? Where's the kids that are, you know, like any kid that's I'm gonna gravitate towards the thing that's gonna make me most comfortable.
Right.
Because more than likely I'm gonna find like-minded people.
Yeah.
And it was all black kids, right? So, and again, poor school. So we didn't even have a fucking a hoop. We didn't have no fucking backboard, no nothing. We played on the monkey bars.
Oh no shit.
And the rule was you can't shoot from the side because it's so easy to make. Because you shoot from the side and it's just like a straight line. The motherfucker will rattle in somewhere.
Yeah.
There wasn't even like, oh, it's only this bar.
It was
just
all
like,
the bars.
It was all the bars.
Oh, shit.
Just fucking
Just make it.
Just make it, right?
Yeah.
So I was playing with black kids and it was fucking rad. I knew none the wiser. I was playing ball. I wanted to play ball. These kids were playing ball. We're all kids.
Yeah.
5th grade, you know what I mean? I didn't know no better. Well, that's not even the right term to use. I didn't know no better. It's just the kids I wanted to play with.
Yeah.
And then I'd have the white kids come up, you know, why are you playing with them? With very choice words.
Yeah.
First time I ever heard the N-word used so flagrantly. Why are you playing with them? And I was like, well, they're playing basketball. You want to play basketball? I think they just let anybody on this dirt ass court that we have.
Right.
You want to come play basketball? No, we don't play with them.
Damn, that's crazy.
And I was like, all right, well, cool.
Was that your first experience with that mindset?
Sure,
like that?
dude. I was shocked. I think it shocked me more later on, which that story has a lot more to it.
Yeah.
But that was definitely like the fuck are you talking about, man? I want to play basketball. These dudes are playing basketball.
So I'm gonna play. Yeah.
I'm gonna play basketball. You know. So there was a culture shock there. The funny thing when I got there, right, Miss Davis, I didn't understand a fucking word that any of those southern motherfuckers said for 2 weeks
Oh yeah.
in class.
That's southern accent. That shit's real when you
Yeah,
ain't from
she
there.
would say some shit, and I'd just be like, what? Huh? You know, and she would be like, what'd you just say? Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Because that wasn't even a thing, right? Like in Nevada, the yes, ma'am, no, ma'am stuff. And it carries on to me today. I say yes, sir, yes, ma'am. I'll say it to you. I'll say it to anybody just out of respect. But now that's kind of like a fucking weird thing, and that's a different story. But just out of respect. But like, she fucking whipped that shit in my ass real quick. And we're talking about a school system that still did corporal punishment.
Yeah, I miss them.
Put your hands up against the fucking wall. We're about to beat your ass with this paddle.
Yeah.
With holes in it for aerodynamics.
Yeah.
We're about to get swift.
Yeah.
You know?
You just hear that shit coming. Yeah.
Little baby crying in the background, you know? But, yeah, man. So, I don't know where I was going with that, but that's where I was, and there's a whole story about that, which might be a different story. I don't know.
Yeah.
Georgia's a different beast.
Okay.
So you were 10. You just got there.
So there's a lot of story in between there,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna fast forward.
Yeah. Come
Graduated. You know.
on. Damn, that was quick. You got there and then you graduated. Fast. Took got 2 weeks to get there.
Yeah.
What, you want 6th grade? You want 6th grade too? You want to hear my first boner where I couldn't stand up and go answer a fucking thing on the map?
J Code? First time?
Yeah. I didn't have it like that.
Oh.
I got glasses.
So how long were you in that town?
I mean, through high school, right? And then I went to college, and I still, I guess I still had residency in my parents' house.
Oh, so y'all were there for a while then. It wasn't just like
Yeah, they were there after I left when I came to Texas, but I lived there for about 13 years.
Wow.
I think I left around 22, to come to Texas.
Did you come to Texas for college?
No. This was after college. So
Okay.
So you did college all in Georgia?
all in Georgia.
What did you get your degree in?
I graduated with 52 people. I was not supposed to be the motherfucker that made it, right? None of the teachers liked me.
Yeah.
We had brilliant fucking girls that went to my school. Some had like full rides to Duke,
Oh shit.
like scholarships, like on just being fucking smart, like academic,
Yeah.
not even fucking sports.
Yeah.
All of them stayed home.
No shit.
Just kept working at the banks. Got knocked up by some fucking country dude that was older than them.
That shit's crazy how that works in small towns like that. My ex has some similar story like that where it's just
It's a fucking sad thing, man.
very.
No way. Damn. I guess I've always been in Dallas or a big city, so I didn't even know that was a
Man,
real
it was.
thing.
I wasn't supposed to be the one that went to college. I was
Yeah.
smart. I was smart. Like I wasn't a fucking idiot. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I'm an idiot now. I make really bad choices. Don't mean I'm fucking an idiot.
Right.
But I wasn't supposed to go to college. I didn't have any. A lot of the teachers didn't back me. You know what I mean? I was always an outcast. I always had a different point of view because my parents actually had a different point of view. You know, we weren't the fucking Southern Baptist shit.
Right.
You know, that's a story in itself. I mean, there's so many like nuances to this.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But graduated. I wasn't in the top 10% because it was top 10 is what, like 5 people?
Yeah.
5.2.
Yeah.
You know,
Those 5 people probably didn't go to college. You're saying?
No,
Damn,
I
that's
don't.
crazy.
They all got fucking like they got with some country motherfucker that is a fucking piece of shit and probably really didn't do nothing with their life.
Yeah.
They're still probably there, had kids, and their kids are doing the same thing. It's crazy. That
It's-
cycle's vicious.
Yeah, man, it's like poverty doesn't know a fucking color. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then also like growing up,
Brown. Oh.
brown. It does. I mean, so the only brown people that we actually had, as in like some sort of Hispanic or Latinx or whatever the fuck you want, Mexican, whatever, right?
Yeah.
That next.
We had 2 Mexicans,
That's crazy.
Gutierrez. They were brothers.
They mowed it off.
This is
Kidding. Mi gente, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we're canceled by episode 3.
Dang.
So, there's 2 brothers, great dudes, as far as I can remember. I think one of them's still in that town. But the only other Hispanics that we had were migrant workers, because it was a farm town.
Yeah.
It was a small town where there was just like farming, there's like tobacco and cotton.
Yeah.
You know, you drive through my fucking small town, or outside of it, and you still see fucking like slave shacks,
No shit.
Fuck.
like right off the road.
That's
Damn.
crazy as
That's
fuck.
crazy.
Though.
Yeah.
You know, I
That's
mean, I
crazy.
guess I couldn't say that officially there were slave shacks.
But I'm sure that's what everybody else said. Right.
I mean, what the fuck were they there for?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? There was a lot of old shanty shacks,
Yeah.
you know, that were next to fucking cotton fields.
Right.
So what?
Yeah,
They weren't big enough to be a fucking barn.
Right. And considering the history of where you was at, right? Yeah. That's,
One plus one, you know.
Yeah.
So we also had, you know, segregated proms.
Are you for real? Like while you was in school?
For real.
Wow.
My town didn't have its first integrated prom till 2007.
I remember you telling me this, bro. That's insane.
2007.
No shit.
Fuck.
They were considered private parties. The white teachers would take the white kids, and then we'd have our prom. And the black teachers. So it was a very mutual thing, though.
Oh,
Black.
it was understood.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
black teachers took the black kids, and they had their prom. Those 2 Mexican brothers, they went to both.
Oh shit. They was with it.
Yeah. So I mean, it was like fine, right?
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. I never knew that. You know, I guess that's just some shit that happens while you're there.
It shouldn't fucking happen. But it was such a normal thing, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Hell, they probably didn't want to go to each other's party at that point, right? I mean,
Well, it was a private party, but all the teachers were there as supervisors or chaperones. You know what I mean? So it was like they really like fucking really skirted the. It basically wasn't on school grounds, so it didn't have to be that. It was considered a private party.
damn, that's fucking crazy. I never
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was some sort of news thing, and I think that's when they had it. Like, we had adopted a cousin whose mom had kicked her out and took care of her, and I think she went to the first fucking integrated prom.
Oh shit.
You know, fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, in 2007, that's not long. That's not a long time ago.
Yeah. At all.
You
Like,
know,
that shit. Damn.
So I graduated, went to college, went to Georgia Southern University, simply because my sister went there, and she was in the band, and I was in the band at this point. That white boy went to the band. You know,
Play the trumpet.
What did you go on?
I wanted to play the trumpet or the saxophone, and I couldn't fucking make a note that was like pretty.
You were just a motherfucker dancing.
Yeah, I was like,
What do they give the kids? They can't play shit. The little thing that you bang.
You held a flag.
no. So no one else made. So the band teacher was like, "Hey, copy me." You know, did all whatever, and I did it, and I was like, "This is fucking stupid." And he's like, "Cool, you're a percussionist." So I drummed through from 7th grade through college, and I went to Georgia Southern. My sister went there, and she was in the marching band, and we went to a game, and I watched the drum line. And I was like, I didn't apply for nowhere else after I saw that. I saw the drum line. I was like, I have to be a part of this.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, and that was it. And then I went there. I was self-taught on drums, so I failed the fucking audition because I taught myself how to write music, like
Damn, that's fucking
percussive
awesome.
music.
Yeah.
I wrote all the music for like the battery music for our small little band. Again, this is a fucking 52-person school, so like there was like fucking 15 of us. You know what I mean? It was like fucking a joke. You know what I mean? But I taught myself, and I went there, and I fucking had a horrible audition. And they're like, I was just like, I just have to be a part of this. This is the only thing I want. I haven't applied anywhere. If I'm not a part of this, then I'm probably just not going to go to college. Went to college. College was a complete fucking bust. It was the worst fucking experience of my life.
Wow.
Oh shit.
I fucking hated it. I thought I was gonna be so educated and so like have like such great conversation with all these students, and all it was just like I can drink beer. And I was like, I fucking hate this, man. And I went through a bad breakup, and that led to like a series of depression in college, putting cigarettes out on myself, cutting myself, like pretty serious stuff. You know, suicide was a factor towards the end. But I only say that only to be, it was my senior year, coming up on my senior year, I had a great professor in my field, which is engineering and technology education. And he was like, you have one more year, why aren't you gonna finish it? I was trying to quit. He's like,
because you was pretty out of it.
I was out of it. I wasn't enjoying it at all.
Yeah.
And I had a great professor. He says, "What is it? Is it money? Like I'll pay for it."
Damn, that's bad.
Like he
cared.
That was like one of the real motherfuckers that cared.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't find that in the education system.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You need this? What do you need? Can you not stay something? You can stay at my house." Like he was like, "Don't stop. You have one more fucking year."
Yeah.
You know. And about that time, my sister was coming back. She already had graduated. She was coming back to get her master's, and we were roommates. You know, it was like a 4-bedroom deal. I had 2 of the rooms, and she had 2 of the rooms. You know, and she was, I don't want to say oblivious, but she had her own shit going on, and I had my own shit going on.
Yeah.
You know, and I was going through my fucking emo shit and dumb shit like that. And for some reason, one day I just woke up and I just went, I used to draw as a kid. I could be a fucking tattooer.
No shit. Have you gotten a tattoo by then?
No.
No tattoos?
So how old were you at this point?
I had to be 21, 22.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I was already drinking.
That's crazy. You just had that thought. You're just like, man, I can fucking-
Well, I mean, I say already drinking. My parents let me drink since I was 14. But they were like, oh yeah, you drink, you sit at the house.
Yeah.
You want your friends to come over, you guys can get fucked up, but everybody gives us our keys. gives
Yeah.
the keys to us. You know what I
Smart,
mean?
yeah.
So by the time I got to college, drinking wasn't a fucking thing.
Yeah.
They stole that from me.
Right.
You
That
know?
whole like wilding out experience.
Yeah, I've already been like super drunk and like whatever and all that dumb shit. But you know, I had this I say epiphany, but I wanted to go and
Got your 50 at Tiffany's.
funny enough, Tiffany was the one that fucked me up the most.
Oh.
That's her name.
Damn.
She knows it too. Yeah.
Fuck Tiffany. So,
Yeah.
let's put that out there.
Not a later Tiffany. If this actually airs, not a later Tiffany.
It's Aaron, guys.
Yeah. Anyway, so had a heartbreak.
Do you hear that?
Yeah, it sounds weird.
It sounds weird, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
I think it's Hector's thing.
Cause mine sounds raspy as fuck.
Hello.
That sounds alright.
Well, you're close. You're the closest to the fan.
You want to try turn now?
Which one?
This one.
Middle one.
How about now? Better or not? Still sounds kind of
Yeah,
fucking weird, huh?
Yeah. I don't know what just
All right.
happened.
Well, it's all right. I'm not talking.
So,
So I have a question. I know sometimes now I'm talking. Sometimes I fucked up. But so I'm curious to the whole college thing, right? Do you feel like a lot of that weird shit that was going on with you, with just dealing with all that like depression, all that? Because at that point you were by yourself, right? Like you weren't close to home. You were kind of living on your own.
Yeah, I was on my own in the fact of.
Yeah. Like
I mean, it was like an hour away. It wasn't very far. But my senior year, my sister had come back to get her master's.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to finish my bachelor's and she was getting her master's.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the idea of loneliness is that's a different thing.
Yeah, because you're essentially leaving this thing that you were used to for so long, being at home, the comfort of being at home with your folks and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then just now living on your own, almost essentially being an adult. Kind of like the whole, what sparked that question for me was like, how you're saying people, like, I feel like kids that go to college, I'll use my nephew as an example, my bad nephew, but like I feel like when he went, now that he's in college, like he's kind of wilding out now. You know what I mean? It's from what I could tell, and I don't even know the full
Capel. The Capel one?
Yeah. He's kind of wilding out now, you know what I mean?
Mm.
But before then, he was like, living at home. Not that even my sister, my brother-in-law are super strict, but like he didn't really wild out like that. But now, the motherfucker is like, probably drinking.
He's all out. Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not even there.
Full throttle.
Yeah, I'm just assuming at this point. Sound better?
Yeah.
That's
That
weird.
whole
Sounds
point, you're above it. You point that out a few times. But anyway, yeah.
But yeah. So I wonder, like, if a lot of that, has something to do with
No, I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I think for most, it's going to be yes.
Right.
For me and my sister, I don't think it was.
Okay.
We were kind of raised to be independent. The worst punishment my parents ever did to us was just going, I'm disappointed. And then we fucking
That's
and then we fucking like punished ourselves. Fucking cat o' nine tails. We're in a room like, you know what I mean? Like some real Catholic shit.
Mad or upset, like.
They're just like
disappointed in you.
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed. What do you want me to do? There's nothing. I thought we taught you better.
Yeah.
Like just like God damn.
Yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I don't. Yes, for most. No, for me. On your question.
Yeah, I got you.
So
anyway, all right. So you.
I was like, fuck it. I used to draw as a kid. Let me be a tattooer. I don't even know why in the fuck
I said something that sparked that, or
nothing. I don't even recall anything that fucking sparked it. It was just like a weird thing of
Not even like a tattoo you see.
no. It wasn't anything fucking cool at all, right? Like I have no recollection of anything being like, you should fucking try this.
Hell yeah.
So I'm good. So.
All right, so you just woke up one day and just said, I should
I
probably
went
go
in. There was only 3 shops. There was a place called Cloud9, Smiling Buddha, and Ivory Tower.
Which one you pick? I would pick Cloud9.
I tried to go to Cloud9 because I thought it would be the easiest one because they also sold porn in the back and sold smoking paraphernalia.
Yes.
And I went in there and I was like, I'm trying to get an apprenticeship.
I want porn. I'm an apprenticeship.
And they said no. I was like, well, where's the back room? I just bought a fucking I bought a fucking porn DVD.
Yeah.
What was it? Do you remember?
Oh yeah. I
All
mean,
dudes?
yeah, no, for sure it was gay. It was fucking just 2 dicks docking over and over, like real close up.
Do you still have it? Or?
Can I borrow that? No, they had. I remember several, like it was a 4-movie like masterpiece of some sort.
Oh, damn, for real?
Yeah.
A long porn.
Yeah, there was like a detective one.
I love how you remember this.
I remember weird shit like this.
Yeah.
So I made it 14 minutes and 37 seconds in. What was the scene?
Oh man,
Yeah.
of which movie?
Yeah.
The first part.
Friar fuck, bend her over. No, I'm just kidding. But there was a Robin Hood one. It was called Throbbing Hood. And there was like a Dick Tracy was just like
Trying to call a podcast that?
Dick Tracy. Yeah. Well, anyway,
Robin.
so I ended up just buying porn. The next one I went to Ivory Tower. They're pretty standoffish. They're actually the only one that's still around.
Wow.
And then I went to Smiling Buddha, which where I met my mentor.
Who is?
His name is Greg. He's a pretty private man, so I don't want to say his last name.
Okay. Yeah,
All right.
that's fine.
So do you still you still talk to him?
I try to.
He's ashamed of what you become.
Probably. I mean, I'm ashamed of what I've become,
Wow.
and I'm ashamed of everybody that's followed me. And if y'all what else that Drake lyric go? If y'all what I created, then I hate myself. Yeah.
Come on, Drake fan.
Search and rescue. So search and deliver. What's it called?
Yeah. No, don't act like you don't know what I can say the first time.
Yeah, you just said it.
Yeah.
Search and rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only song I know.
You're
Guys.
not a pit bull, but.
But dale, mommy, nigga. That's it. I get you.
That's the hook for you.
Yeah.
Went there. It's like, all right, you got some drawings or something. So I run outside. I'm all excited. Run outside and bring in my fucking sketchbook. He goes, yeah, these fucking suck.
So you started drumming on it.
Yeah. I was like, hold on. Have you ever heard some paradiddles on top of a drawing? But showed him. These suck, man. I don't know. Come back in a month and fucking bother me or something like that. Try to draw better.
Okay.
Left. Came back in a month. It wasn't a no.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. It wasn't a no.
You know, so I was like, all right, cool. So I went back and I drew some more fucking pieces of dog shit.
Yeah.
I wasn't artistically trained. I had no art background. I drew when I was a kid. You know, if someone would, I always explain my drawing style. If someone can draw a stick figure, I'd be the motherfucker that would put a circle on it for the body. Like, that's how much more advanced I was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not really, right? Or I'd like draw muscles for fucking Ninja Turtles or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Instead of just like tube arms.
Yeah, sorry.
I hit a stride around like 5th, 6th grade where I was drawing like some pretty dope characters from Mortal Kombat, like cheat book that I had or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was drawing. I wish I had any of them. I was just giving them away.
Yeah,
I was just
And
like,
now it's crazy because that comes into how, like, I've been knowing you for, like you said, a decade, and I have 2 drawings from you.
yeah, and it's
You don't give shit away.
I don't, and it's only gotten worse. And that's another story.
But it's cool because, like, it makes me feel very, like, this is type that I have.
Yeah, it's supposed to be special, right?
Yeah.
But also those things that I've given to people, we're not friends no more.
I'm just giving a few months. Yeah.
But yeah, came back a month later. It's like, all right, cool. These don't suck as bad. And I don't know, fucking bother me in a month. He did this like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And I just showed up every month. You know? And apparently there was another guy named Daniel who's a tattooer now, and I think he's doing fine.
Oh.
No, he's not doing that good. Just another tattooer. I think he's doing pretty good, you know. But he was basically trying to get. It was only him in this shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just him, and he was trying to find somebody to work with him, and that was his fucking vetting process. And I just didn't stop showing up. I think the other kid, you know, I think Sonny can say, I mean, that's kind of me, right? I just show up and I just work.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and he let me in. I can't thank him enough for the opportunity he's given me to have a career.
Yeah.
He was a horrible mentor. You know, if he ever watches this, I learned more what not to do than what to do. But he gave me an opportunity that no one would, and I think that's very valuable. And I took it on myself to you know, I tried to quit a couple times. I'll also say this: I got my apprenticeship my senior year in college, and I said, "What is it? How long does apprenticeship take?" And he goes, "Oh, well, it takes as much time that you put in." Right? And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna quit college. He goes, "Oh, here's the other thing. If you quit college, your apprenticeship is done immediately. Don't even fucking show up." He wanted me to get my degree.
Yeah, so he had some care in him for sure.
He did. He really cared about me. As he's an old biker dude. You know what I mean? That man had a lot of love and care for me. You know what I mean? He wasn't a great tattooer. But you know, he was there when no one else was.
Right.
Yeah.
And then sometimes that's all it takes. You know. And then I'll say this also. I met a person on MySpace, and I wanted to be with her. And she was out in Texas, and this is the segue into how I got to Texas. Met her on MySpace. Didn't have a lot of love. You know, like I said, I got into depression. You know, tattooing kind of saved my life because it gave me a different purpose. Because drumming wasn't working out.
Yeah.
Fuck, I met somebody that was like awesome through a MySpace top 8, which ironically enough, is the band that I met her through was a band that's from Fort Worth, where I'm currently stationed, you know, and working, called O Sleeper. She was a top 8. She sold merch for him. Talked back and forth. Decided she actually drove out to surprise me first, from Waco, and then came, and then, you know, I bought tickets and came out here, and then I moved out here to Houston. And when I was trying to find a place to work, I didn't know where to go, right? I didn't know what to fucking look for. I didn't know nothing about tattooing. I'm from fucking South Georgia, where it's 20 years behind everything else.
Yeah.
You know? And a guy that tattooed a lot of my arm, he was kind of like an indirect mentor. His name is Marcus Doug. He works in Savannah. He knew a guy in Houston. He said, "Hey, you should check this guy's shop out. I'll put in a good word for you," which meant the world to me, you know. And he did, you know, and I went out there and I thought I was working with, it's like one of those things where like, you think somebody's really good, but then you grow, like, now I'm way past them.
Yeah.
I look back and I was like, damn, y'all motherfuckers sucked.
Yeah.
Like, and not only that, you were real pieces of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, got me out there, moved out to Houston. Her and I eventually got married, you know, moved around San Antonio, Dallas.
Oh, this is Tori.
This is Tori. This is my
Oh shit.
This is my assistant. She's my assistant now. We're divorced.
That's insane. I know this story.
Yeah, we're divorced now.
Oh fuck.
And now she runs my books.
Oh wow.
She's got a fucking great boyfriend that treats her good. I'm super stoked. I can say this. I have the absolute best ex-wife that anybody could have. You know what I mean? It was like completely, we were both on the same page. We tried some shit afterwards, didn't work, and we just went, man, I really fucking love you as a friend. You know what I mean?
The person. You know?
As a person, yeah.
Yeah, just
And-
together
and-
it didn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, and she runs my books now. She runs my email. She runs my Instagram.
No
All that stuff. She runs the money that runs through all of that. That's how much I trust her.
Wow.
You know, great person. If anybody deserves the absolute best in this world, and he's gotten a really shit hand along the way, it's her. Like I hope she has the fucking best life ever. I hope she hits the fucking $1 billion lottery or something like that, and balls the fuck out, and looks at everybody and goes, "Fuck you."
Right.
You know what I mean? But I know she won't. She'll probably fucking give half of it away for fucking charity because she's a sweet fucking person.
Yeah.
But that brought me to Texas.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Damn.
And you know, this is one thing, not that I cut you off or anything.
I've been talking so much. Please cut me off.
No, because this is what it's supposed to
This is
be.
the point,
Like,
yeah.
This is like the main thing why I wanted to do this, because like I've been knowing you like 7 decades, and like, yeah, this just shit I didn't know. I didn't fucking know. Like, I know a lot about you,
Yeah.
but like I said, I'm excited to like air this, and people that follow us and you, like, this is such a cool insight.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I love hearing all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Even well, obviously for me, I didn't know most of this, so it's just
Yeah.
interesting, you know. So
Yeah.
Heck, I didn't know you tattooed.
Yeah, what?
Random,
So,
I thought you were Sonny's boyfriend,
man.
the male.
I didn't say that.
Catcher.
That wasn't.
We haven't got to that part of the
Yeah,
story.
that wasn't the. I didn't say,
That's all right.
I didn't say why we got divorced. This Laotian.
Halsey.
All right, so you came to Texas. So real quick, how long did your apprenticeship actually last? You did from the first guy.
Man, I think it was right at a year,
Okay,
something like that.
and then that's when you moved to.
Yeah, I had a tattoo. He's like, just tattoo some friends until I feel like you're good enough to tattoo.
Okay.
I did it completely wrong. My apprenticeship was completely wrong. Can y'all hear me in this?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Can you not hear yourself?
I don't know, it's getting dim. But it went. I did it completely wrong, to the point where if I was tattooing and the former me walked in
I love when you always say this.
and asked for an apprenticeship, I'd tell myself to get the fuck out. I had no right. You know what I mean? I ain't have no tattoos. I ain't have no nothing. I did my first tattoo
On yourself.
after my apprenticeship. I apprenticed for a year and then did my first tattoo. And my mentor watched me for 5 minutes. And was like, just show me when you're done, and left. You know? And then, which was probably like best for me because I get kind of nervous under the microscope.
Yeah.
I do better on my own. Yeah, and it's like a fucking masterpiece, dude. It's like Da Vinci fucking.
Yeah,
it's fucking perfect. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'll never do a better tattoo in my life.
Yeah. And it's on you. You
Yeah,
just
it's
see
on me,
everything.
and I get to wear this fucking thing. Like, god damn, how lucky am I? But yeah, I didn't deserve to make it, but it was a year, and then one day, it was February 14th,
Yeah,
so Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, okay.
Yeah, and he was like, someone came in and wanted something. And I drew everything for him. I set him up. I did everything an apprentice should do, right? And I was like, hey, Greg, I got you all set up. He goes, cool, go do it. And he's just like sitting in his office scrolling on his computer, looking through some sort of like.
I love how you still did the phone motion.
Well, he had like this. The mouse. He had like one of these mouse things that you had like this, where you just like roll the ball. Like he was like. He had one of those, and he would just like sit back and like, scroll. He was like, "Cool, go do it." And I was like, "For real?" I was like, "Yeah."
That's crazy. Yeah.
And our shop minimum was $45, at the time. It was a double lined heart and filled in, just like, so basically a thick black line on this girl's foot. Stupid attractive girl.
Did you get it?
No, that's always going to be a no for my case. But that's when I considered myself starting tattooing.
February 14th.
Not the first tattoo that I ever did.
But what you
on
can say,
skin,
yeah.
but the first one I got paid for.
Right. Okay.
And that was when like, all right, cool, you're in.
Damn. Okay.
That's so
dope.
cool.
Oh, so to talk about Houston, my mentor told me when I was trying to leave, because it was less than a year, and I felt really bad that it was less than a year that I worked for him after he had spent time like teaching me, taking me on or whatever. And I told him I met this girl, and I also have this shop in Houston. I'm trying to go and do this. And he goes, if you don't take that job out in Houston, you're fired anyway. I was like, oh man, did I do something wrong? He goes, no. Whatever you want out of tattooing, you're not going to get here. You need to. You've surpassed this area. You know, not that I was like hot shit. It wasn't hard to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's like, you need to go. So.
That's so. It feels like it's not like on. It's so.
I mean it's on, but
Is that just me? It just doesn't feel like it's
So
on.
I can hear you pretty well.
but it has
It's
to be
like-
pretty on the fucking.
It's diminishing.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
wonder if the batteries are going out.
Damn.
So should we stop this and do like a part 2? Like,
I feel like I talked a lot.
No, because fuck, I hate that like 2 thing. You know how hard it's been just trying to stitch stuff, but like it doesn't feel like it's picking stuff up, right? Am I tripping? All right, yeah, I guess, yeah. Let's stop it.
part 2 coming up, guys.
Just coming up.